Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gambling Goals. I'm your host, Mitch Carr. You can find me on Twitter at Mitch Carr TV. But everybody came to see Prospector Sam. You can find him on Twitter at Prospector_Sam. And Sam, it was a lovely international break. I'm sure you took a moment away from breaking all those rocks and looking for gold nuggets. Is that right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it was a terrible international break in the sense that international soccer kind of sucks, and you get a lot of low-scoring games and kind of disjointed soccer. But at the same time, I still had some stuff to watch. Still got to poke around. Made a little bit of money on Twitter if anyone poked around on there, and but I'm glad to be back and doing gambling goals again. So it's nice to be here, and thank God we've got some real soccer back.
Well, just a reminder where we stand. Prospector Sam is 10-5-1 on the season, largely on the strength of a 5-0 opening weekend. He's rated 500 for the past couple of weeks. But again, if you break even, you're a winner in gambling. So club football returns this weekend. We're very excited about it. Sam has 5 picks for you. You know the way it works. We're going to describe 5 of them or 3 of them right now, and a couple of them we'll just give them to you. And he's also writing a column at dimers.com. So if you have any questions or you want some really funny writing, just go to dimers.com for that. And let's go. We're going to start with the English Premier League, our bread and butter. You've got a pick between Southampton and West Ham. What is it, Sam?
Yeah, I like the over a lot in this game. I'm not sure how you really couldn't, just looking at the numbers. West Ham have scored 10 goals and given up 5 in their first 3 games, which obviously averages out to 5 goals a game just on their side alone. Southampton aren't much shabbier either. Their games have a total of 10 through 3, so you're still getting above on their side. And this just projects to be a high-scoring game. Neither of these teams play a lot of defense. West Ham obviously is scoring at a ridiculous clip with Michail Antonio. I just don't see how this game kind of skews lower. It obviously, you could get some bad bounces, some stagnant football, but at the same time, everything says over 2.5 goals. I would have seen this game more at the 190, minus 190, even minus 200 for the over 2.5. I think at minus 140, the value is just extremely high for the way these teams are playing right now. Good quality soccer, fun to watch. I think it's one of those bets that you make, and even if it doesn't come out in the right end, there's nothing that these stats can tell you that would make you do anything else.
For those of you who don't know, Prospector Sam is in a fantasy Premier League with my father-in-law and me and several other people. He's got Michail Antonio, who's in the form of his entire career, and he's angered my father-in-law because he keeps beating him because he has Michail Antonio. So we'll see if we can keep that going. Certainly another hat trick from Antonio would give you another win for the week, and that would be a gambling win on this one as well. As we've said before, we're going to make this a tour of Europe. We're not just staying with the English Premier League this year. We've really expanded our horizons. The next league we're going to move on to is La Liga in Spain, and you've got a pick for Espanyol and the league champions, Atletico Madrid. What do you have?
Yeah, well, we're cultured now. We're a people of worldly experience, and we're just diversifying out. As you can see, Mitch has got his Italian jersey on, and we're just we're worldly people. Now, in this game, I think the money line for Atletico Madrid, just to keep this simple, is about even minus 105. For those of you who don't know, Mitch mentioned it, but Atletico is the holders of the league. They're sitting on 7 points through 3 games, which puts them, I believe, in tied for first place. Espanyol have 3 points through 3 games. Don't look very good. So it's kind of baffling, to be quite honest. A little bit of a head scratcher how Atletico could be this good value on the money line. I think that there's probably some fatigue, weariness, because a lot of their players will be playing on international duty, whereas Espanyol's won't. It's just a tough place to go travel to. There's a away game for Atletico, but at minus 105, I mean, they're the far better team. They're having a little bit of trouble scoring goals, but they shouldn't really struggle that much against Espanyol. This just feels like a tremendous value as far as a money line bet. I think that they probably handle this game pretty comfortably in kind of like the 2-goal win range, and to get them at close to even money for that is great value.
There's kind of a red flag, though, because I followed one of your bets from the hospital at like 2 a.m. You were looking at African World Cup qualifying, and you were like, how does Ivory Coast not score a goal here? So I put $5 on Ivory Coast to at least score a goal, and that one finished 0-0. it's sort of a red flag to me whenever you say this makes no sense.
No, I mean, I have moments when I see, lines for different sports and they're a head scratcher and it's almost, it feels like a trap and it is. I have a couple of those, one of those this week in soccer. I had one of those in the college football article I wrote, and I was just like, this doesn't make a damn lick of sense. They're setting you up to look stupid. And then you do, and you're like, well, should have seen that coming. But at the end of the day, you got to look at the value and just say, does this make sense to bet it? Sure, Atletico could, come out a little bit sluggish and not win this game. But, if you're asking the person who watches a lot of soccer, this should be way more skewed towards them to win this game. I'll take it. I don't feel good about betting African soccer anymore. I probably was stretching my limits a little bit there. But I will say I watched
You're not
the whole
that
game.
cultured, right?
Yeah, no, I'd like to think that I am, but I watched a lot of that game and I was like, Jesus Christ, Sam, like there's a line and, we're probably crossing it here when we're watching, Ivory Coast play without their Premier League players because they're all barred from going down there because they're red flag countries. And I'm thinking that they can put up goals and they can't. And it's just a fucking mess. So, I walked away from that one feeling bad. I don't think I'll walk away from this one feeling quite as bad if I don't get it right. But I do think it's the right bet. I feel good about it. Let's just stick with that for now.
Well, I actually bring that up because the next bet you have is PSG and Clermont in Ligue 1. And you've got PSG over 2.5 goals. That's just PSG to score over 2.5 goals. That one looks like a slam dunk, given all the transfer work that they did, and given that Clermont is new to Ligue 1, I believe. What is it about this one? Is it just the value, or is there some way that this could possibly go wrong?
I mean, yes is the answer. It can always go wrong. I like this game for a lot of reasons. You have PSG, who have arguably the best offense, in the world. Honestly, you could stick them up there with close to anyone. They're playing a promoted side that always tends to skew in the direction of the experienced team. PSG's at home is a value. Clermont have given up 5 goals in their last 2 games. I mean, you're just stacking up reasons why PSG should score a lot of goals. It seems fairly simple to me. I mean, 2.5 for them. They're averaging 3 goals a game through 4 games this season. That's kind of their MO. They're going to put balls in the back of the net. They haven't really blown anyone out this year, but they've been putting in a consistent amount of goals, over 2.5 against a newly promoted side that are just going to be completely outclassed. Feels like, great value. I'd love to, say that there's a way that Clermont can stay in this game just to make it interesting, but I don't really think that there is. PSG should probably win this game by, if they play their close to their best, they could win this by 4 or 5 goals. So
yeah, this should be like a 6-1 final or something crazy like that. But even if it's 3-2, PSG still maintains that still gets them over 2.5 goals. So I like that bet as well. Continuing the tour of Europe, we're not going to discuss these, but again, he writes a column at dimers.com, and you can see even more picks than the 5 that we're mentioning here. In the Bundesliga, Union Berlin. I speak absolutely no German. So is it Union? Is it Union? Is it whatever? I don't know. Union Berlin. That's what we're going to go with. They're playing Augsburg, and he likes Union Berlin's money line. That's currently at -140. And
I think you need more guttural sounds. We're in Germany, so
yeah, more angry sounds.
More throat, more anger. Yeah.
Onion. I don't know. I just sounded like I was hawking a loogie while trying to say the word onion.
Sounds about right.
My apologies to the German fans out there. I've really, really besmirched your language. Continuing the tour of Europe, though, he has not picked anyone from the Swiss Super League, but that changes this weekend. Lugano and Basel. Basel, somewhat of a fixture in the UEFA Champions League. He is picking the Basel money line here. That is even, so that should be good money on that one. Now, we're going to go through those picks one more time for you. He likes in the English Premier League, Southampton and West Ham. He likes over 2.5 goals. In La Liga, Espanyol hosting Atletico Madrid. He likes Atleti money line. In Ligue 1, PSG hosting Clermont on Saturday. He likes PSG over 2.5 goals. Again, that's PSG to score over 2.5 goals, not the whole match. In the Bundesliga, Union Berlin and Augsburg, he likes the Union Berlin money line. And in the Swiss Super League, Lugano is hosting Basel. He likes the Basel money line. What is that dance? I have to stop everything I'm doing and ask you what that was.
I don't know. I was just enjoying you talking, and I felt like I needed to do something. So I just a little happy dance for Premier or for club soccer to be back. I'm ready, and I'm feeling good about it.
In this business, we call that mugging, when you're taking the attention away from the person that's speaking, but it's okay. I do have to ask you, where is your pickaxe? Was it taken at customs? We have discussed this before.
I'm just not going to talk about it right now. There's some issues with the pickaxe. We're working on it. It'll be back eventually. As we figure out better ways to use it, it was a little bit weird just having it in the screen last week. So we're gonna work on the use of the pickaxe, and maybe it'll come back as a prop at some point. But just sitting in my dining room holding a pickaxe for 15 minutes was a little bit awkward. So I opted out of that one.
We've got to find like a gong or something for you to break. Like, can you buy like a fake gold nugget that you can crack open or something?
Oh my God, I need to find like a fake like styrofoam rock that smashes and turns into a gold nugget, and I can pick it up like I'm in Indiana Jones and be like a guy holding this massive chunk of gold. All right, I'm in.
That's what we call next steps, okay? Next steps, you find a fake gold nugget, and then we bring it in next week. As for this week, though, that is the end of this week's recording. Again, thank you very much for watching. The guy you came to see because of his expertise and because he's a character is Prospector Sam. You can find him on Twitter at Prospector_Sam. I am your host at Mitch Carr. You can find me on Twitter at MitchCarrTV. We appreciate you watching this edition of Gambling Goals, and we hope to see you next week.